2. Just then, the door flew open and Peterson rushed in. His face was red and his eyes looked dazed with astonishment. "The goose, Mr. Holmes! The goose!" Peterson gasped. "What about it?" asked my friend. "Did it suddenly come back to life and fly out the window? Calm yourself." "Look, sir, at what my wife found in its throat." Peterson held out his hand. There, on his palm, was a brilliant blue gemstone. It was only about the size of a bean, but it was so pure and glowing that it seemed filled with light. Holmes sat up with a whistle. "By Jove, Peterson, this is quite a treasure. Do you know what you've got? A precious stone? It's not just any precious stone. It's the precious stone." "Not the Countess Morcar's blue carbuncle," I exclaimed. "The one that was stolen a few days ago? It's in all the newspapers." "The very one," said Holmes calmly. "It is absolutely unique. The Countess of Morcar is offering a reward of £1,000, so its real value must be at least 20 times that." £1,000? Oh, mercy! Peterson had gone pale and collapsed onto the nearest chair. "It was stolen from the Hotel Cosmopolitan," I said. "Correct," said Holmes. "On December 22nd, just 5 days ago. A plumber named John Horner was arrested for the crime." Holmes pulled an item from his pile of newspapers. "Here," he said, "look at this. Hotel Cosmopolitan, jewel robbery. James Horner, 26, plumber, has been charged with stealing the valuable gem known as the blue carbuncle from the room of the Countess of Morcar. James Ryder, an attendant at the hotel, told police that he had taken Horner to that room on December 22nd to make a minor repair. He was called away for a few minutes and returned to find Horner gone. A locked drawer has been found open, and a leather jewel case was empty. Ryder sounded an alarm. Catherine Cusack, maid to the Countess, told police that she had heard Ryder's yell and rushed into the room. She, too, saw the empty case, the one where the Countess kept her priceless blue carbuncle. Horner was arrested that evening, but no stone was found on his person or in his home. Inspector Bradstreet, the arresting officer, said that Horner had claimed innocence, insisting that he knew nothing about the jewel. Since Horner has a record for robbery, a judge ordered that he remain in jail until his trial. On hearing this, Horner fainted and had to be carried from the courtroom. Said Holmes. "So much for the police court. You see, Watson, our little deductions have suddenly become very important. A crime was committed, after all. What happened between the raiding of a jewel case at the Hotel Cosmopolitan and the dropping of a goose at the corner of the Goose Street? Here is the stone. It came from the goose, which came from Mr. Henry Baker, the gentleman with the wretched hat. We must find that gentleman and see what part he played in this little mystery. We'll try the simplest thing first." "What's that?" I asked. "I'll put an ad in the newspapers," he replied, beginning to write. "Here's what I'll say. Found at the corner of Goose Street, a goose and a black felt hat. Mr. Henry Baker can have them by coming at 6:30 this evening to 221B Baker Street. Here, Peterson, please have this ad put in all the evening newspapers." "Very well, sir. What about the stone?" "I'll keep it safe. While you're out, please buy a goose of the same size as the one you found and bring it back here." When Peterson had gone, Holmes picked up the stone and held it up to the light. "It's beautiful, isn't it, Watson? See how it sparkles. Of course, it's tied to a crime. Every good stone is. I will lock it in my strong box and send a message to the Countess, letting her know that it's safe." "Do you think that man Horner is innocent?" I asked. "I can't tell." "How about Henry Baker?" "I think he had no idea that his bird had a treasure inside it, but I can't say for sure. I'll have proof if he answers my ad. We can't know more till then."